the Midnight Who Block. I'm, of course, Edward the Professor, and it's another classic review tonight. And, yeah, we finally made it to the 7th Doctor. Now, there was a lot of stories I was thinking of which to review. I was thinking Survival, Remembrance of the Daleks, and even Dragonfire. Time of the Ronnie could have been a good story, but I decided to pick one that I don't really have fond memories of. I'm speaking of course, let me just grab it, Delta and the Bannerman. There you go. I don't remember much about Delta and the Bannerman. I remember watching it a few years ago on, I think I rented it, and, from Netflix, and I remember not liking it as much as I thought it would. You know, the plot sounded really intriguing when I first heard about it a few years back, but when I first watched it, I remember it being not very good, and thought I was kind of bored by it. So I said, you know what? This could be a perfect opportunity to review a story that I don't really remember that well. So let's kick it off with Delta and the Bannerman. So, of course, this takes place in the 50s, 1959 to be exact, at a Shangri-La holiday camp, which is a very interesting location, actually. I kind of liked it because you get to meet some very interesting characters that are at this holiday camp. And each of the characters have their own personality. Each of them add a really good, interesting mix to it. But my favorite is Billy. Of course, he is he's the motorcycle dude, and he's just funny. I like how he teams up with the Princess Delta, and he kind of falls in love with her. And then later on in the story, he wants to go with her back to her place, which I thought was kind of funny. But to me, a strong part of this story was how the Doctor got involved in the story, into his TARDIS, and he's there. Well, not the case in this story. This story, instead, he actually just, well, he actually lands on a spaceport type thing, and bam, he's the millionth customer, I believe, if I remember. He's the customer of the day, and he gets to go to what they think is Disneyland. Yeah, and doesn't go as planned because the ship gets attacked and it crashes down at the Shangri-La. So it's a very interesting way for the Doctor to get involved in the story. And of course, Delta, the princess, is being chased by the Bannerman, well, which is where the title comes into play, Delta and the Bannerman. The Bannermen are, yeah, they're very murderous. They do not take no prisoners. They are vicious monsters, in my opinion. And to me, this is the most powerful Doctor Who moment, where I was like, what? Is when the Bannerman blew up the tour bus, the space tour bus. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked by that. That was a very powerful scene. And they also got rid of one of my favorite characters in the story, which was the bus driver. He was one of my favorite little members of the gang in the bus. I missed him. And, yeah. I like how they defeat the Bannerman in the to distract the Bannerman. They attack him with honey, and the bees come. I thought that was a very, very funny moment. One thing I thought was interesting was Mel. Mel is not one of my favorite characters. She is kind of, in my head, she's alright. I'm not a big fan of Mel. But actually in the story, she wasn't too bad. She's actually more like the audio version of Mel I kind of know. Mel is actually really good at audios, and it actually gives you a new definition, and you actually kind of understand a different side of the character, which I think is a good thing. Let's see what else. Yes, Delta is interesting because she has a baby. Okay, she has a kid. And the way they do that, it starts out as this kind of just really obvious prop. Or at least it just seems rubbery and all that. And then all of a sudden it turns into a kid in a green suit with green face paint. And for some reason that made me laugh. And it's funny how you see it grow and they use the same costume as it goes on. Overall, I thought this was a fantastic story, actually. It's not a good story in a way. But overall, I thought this was a pretty alright Doctor Who story. It definitely had its moments. The music was kind of funny. The music was a fun part when they did some of the 50 scenes at the holiday camp. I thought that was a strong moment. It's a really enjoyable Doctor Who story. You just kind of watch it, and you kind of can just It doesn't take much to kind of fully understand, fully grasp what's going on in it, and it's just kind of there. It's a very fun story, and I kind of like it, and I do highly recommend it. And that's it for tonight. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like, comment, and a subscribe if you wish. And this story is definitely gets a 7 out of 10. Bye, everyone.